Force, this is Chapter 3, Expressions and Equations. Now, Section 1 is addition and subtraction expressions. A variable is a letter or symbol that represents an unknown number. In the expression 9 plus x, the unknown number is represented by the variable x. You can find the value of an expression by substituting different numbers for the variable, or you could balance the equation. But right now, we're just gonna substitute. So find the value of 3 plus r when r equals to 4. That means that 3 plus r is 3 plus 4, since r is equal to 4. Therefore, 3 plus r when r is equal to 4 is equal to 7. 3 plus r when r is equal to 12 is equal to 3 plus 12, which is equal to 15. What is the value of y minus 8 when y equals to 10? But why is get the joke? Anyhow, 10 minus 8 equals to 2. The value of y minus 8 when y equals to 10 is 2. The value of y minus 8 when y equals to 25 is 25 minus 8 equals to 17. Let's do some practice problems. Find the value of each expression if d equals to 4 and g equals to 13. G minus 3, 13 minus 3 equals to 10. G plus 1, 13 plus 1 equals to 14. 5 plus d, d equals to 4. 5 plus 4, you just plug it in, guys, is equal to 9. Oh yeah, I forgot the equal sign. 9 plus g, g is equal to 13, so 9 plus 13 is equal to 22. 9 minus d is 9 minus 4, that is 5. 12 minus d is 12 minus 4 equals to 8. We continue with some other variables. Any letter can be a variable. Although some letters aren't as used as other letters, and some letters are commonly associated with a certain meaning, such as H is usually that looks like an N. H is usually associated with height. L is usually associated with length. Oh yes, and also, these things are almost always cursive or italicized. W is equal to, well, not equal to, but usually representative of width. And usually people don't like using O, because O looks like 0. So yeah, it might get confusing. Anyhow, we move on. P plus 10. P equals to 4. 4 plus 10, 14. K plus 4. K is equal to 9. 9 plus 4, 13. K plus 7. K is equal to 9. 9 plus 7, 16. P plus 1. 4 plus 1, 5. K minus P. 9 minus 4 is equal to 5. Oh yeah, don't forget the equal signs, guys. Oh yeah, K plus 3 minus 10. So you would do the things in the brackets first. Remember what I told you about order of operations? Now, 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 minus 10 is 2. If you want to take a break or, well, do some practice problems, you can pause the video at any time. If you don't want to take a break, or you just came back, hello again! and we're going to talk about solving equations mentally. So you can use mental math to solve equations. Usually this involves things that, well, you've learned before, such as 6 plus p equals to 18. What plus 6 equals to 18? 12 plus 6 equals to 18. P equals to 12. Oh yes, guys, solving equations means solving, or at least finding out, what the variable is. 15 minus t equals to 12. 15 minus what equals to 12? 15 minus 3 equals to 12. T equals to 3. Now we're going to solve each of these long line of equations mentally. 8 plus n equals to 11. 8 plus what equals to 11? 8 plus 3 equals to 11. N equals to 3. 15 minus n equals to 7. 15 minus what equals to 7? 15 minus 8 equals to 7. N equals to 8. Now here's how you would usually go about it. If it's addition, you subtract. If it's subtraction, you add. Such as 9 plus n equals to 9, then n equals to 9, subtract 9. N equals to 0. N minus 12 equals to 23. It means that n equals to 23 plus 12. N equals to 35. N plus 7 equals to 3. Well, this is what you call negative numbers. N is negative. Now usually you wouldn't do negative numbers until grade 5. This is a sneak peek. So over here it would be n plus 7 equals to 3. So right now we're just going to put n is negative, since you haven't really learned this yet. Now n minus 11 equals to 7. So n equals to 7 plus 11, which means that n equals to 18. N plus 3 equals to 9. N equals to 9 minus 3. N equals to 6. 25 minus n equals to 14, which means that, well, you move n over and you get n equals to 25 minus 14, and so n equals to 11. 18 plus n equals to 20. N equals to 20 minus 18, n equals to 2. Minus 7 equals to 42. N equals to 42 plus 7. N equals to 49. Now we're going to go over some problem solving skills. A problem is missing information when you cannot solve it unless you have more information. A problem has extra information when it gives more information than needed to solve it. An example of missing information is Evie spent 30 minutes on his homework. Cindy started her homework at 5 p.m. Who spent more time doing their homework, Evie or Cindy? Well, you see, we don't know how much time Cindy spent on her homework because we don't know when she stopped doing homework. Which means that we can't solve this problem. Extra information is something like this. Sue spent 20 minutes raking leaves after school. She spent 15 minutes raking leaves after dinner. She then practiced her violin for 45 minutes. How long did Sue take to rake the leaves? To solve this problem, you do not need to know how long it took Sue to practice her violin. So now, we are going to do some good old multiple choice. The music store is having a sale in CDs. Yes, guys. Before the digital age, people would go to music stores and buy CDs. Of course, some people still buy album CDs. The store also sells videos. The cost is $14 for 5 CDs. How many CDs can Tyler buy? So which of the following statements is false? There are more than 20 CDs on clearance. It never said anything about this. So we're gonna put it on hold for now. It costs $15 for 5 videos. That's obviously false, because it says over here it costs $14. But we should still look at the other answers. It costs $28 for 10 CDs. That's true. 1 CD on sale costs $2.80. That is, if you do a division, that is also true. The thing is, just because it is never said doesn't mean that the statement is false. That means that the statement is undecided. If every single one of these statements was correct, then usually that means that your teacher probably made a typo. Or whoever made the test probably made a typo. But in that case, you should choose the unclear one, if all 3 of these were correct. Because then you could argue and say that, well, the other 3 were correct, and this was the only one that had no proof behind it. But, well, right now this one is not correct. Therefore, you don't need to choose the undecided one and take the risk. What information is missing? The cost of each CD, what the store sells, how much money Tyler has, and what Tyler wants to buy. Well, you see, the cost of each CD is already said. What the store sells, a music store, is having a sale on CDs. So technically we have that too. What Tyler wants to buy, it doesn't say that, but it's also not important to the question. So the information is, well, technically it does say that because it says how many CDs can Tyler buy. But what we really need is how much money Tyler has. 110 4th grade students are going to a museum. Each school bus can hold 60 students. 5 chaperones are going on the trip with the students. How many buses are needed to take the students to the museum? What information is not needed? A, the number of students. Well, yeah, we need that since we need to calculate the student and bus ratio. Well, technically, it's the amount of students decides how many buses you have. The number of chaperones, technically that isn't needed, but we'll put it on hold for now. The number of students that can fit in each bus, we definitely need that because that's the capacity. And it's definitely not none of the above because we don't actually need the number of chaperones. The answer is B. How many buses are needed? Well, you see, 110 divided by 60 is 1 point something. But because you can't really have point something of a bus, it's like saying that you can't really have half of a human going on a field trip. Then we technically need 2 buses. Because we still need to fit the rest of the kids in. Circle the question in each problem. Underline the needed facts. Identify the missing or extra information. Then solve if possible. Lucy eats 5 turkey sandwiches and 3 ham sandwiches a week. She eats at 12:30 every day. How many ham sandwiches does she eat in 2 weeks? The question is how many ham sandwiches does she eat in 2 weeks? We need the amount of ham sandwiches she eats a week, which is 3. We basically don't need anything else. Now, what's 3 times 2? 6. She eats 6 ham sandwiches in 2 weeks. Kimberly is 14 years old and she downloads 25 songs a month. How much does she spend after 3 months? So our question is, how much does she spend after 3 months? Well, we have nothing. We don't have the cost of the songs that she downloads. We don't have the cost of anything else that she spends, assuming that she spends anything else. So basically we can't solve this problem because it's missing so much information. We also don't need the fact that she's, 14 years old. There are a total of 26 students. 10 of them want chocolate ice cream. How many of them prefer mango? Our question is, how many of them prefer mango? None of this information is, not needed. But we're missing the amount of people that prefer different things. Because for all we know, 14 of the rest of the students could prefer vanilla or strawberry or something else. Therefore, we can't solve this problem. We move on to our algebra. Section 4, algebra, find a rule. Sometimes math problems have a pattern to the answers. Yeah, patterning, which is why often you will find in textbooks that there is a section or a chapter or even a unit called patterning and algebra. Once you find the pattern, you can make a rule that will solve the problem for any input. Use this problem to learn more about finding a pattern and making a rule. Say, no matter how many cards Emma has, James always has 5 more cards. So Emma would be E, James would be J. Okay. If Emma has 1 card, James has 5 more, so James has 6. If Emma has 2, he has 5 more, so he has 7. If Emma has 3, then James has 5 plus 3, 8. If Emma has, say, a random number, 27, then James will have 27 plus 5, 32. If you want an equation for this, it would probably be something like, usually in equations, people don't really like using uppercase letters. So E plus 5 equals to J. Now, we're going to do something else. Identify the pattern. 4 plus something equals to 9. 5. 2 plus something equals to 7. 2 plus 5 equals to 7. Identify the rule and write it as an equation. We already did that up there. E plus 5 equals to J. Now for some more practice problems. Write each rule as an equation to describe the pattern. Then use the equation to find the next 3 numbers in the pattern. Okay. Input X, output Y. Now we have 2 something equals to 8. So 2 plus 6 equals to 8. Or 2 times 4 equals to 8. So since we're not sure, we look at the second input-output that they gave us. You call this something different in higher grades, so. Now 9 something equals to 15. 9 plus 6 equals to 15. So the rule would be X plus 6 equals to Y. Now we're gonna find the next 3 numbers. next three numbers, as in the other three numbers that are listed here. 13 plus 6 equals to what? Because 13 is x. 13 plus 6 equals to 19. 16 plus 6 equals to what? 16 plus 6 equals to 22. 22 plus 6 equals to what? 22 plus 6 equals to 28. We continue to the next question. Input 8, output, 5. So 8 minus 3 equals to 5. And we take a look and we get 11 minus 3 also equals to 8. And 14 minus 3 also equals to 11. Therefore, the rule would be x minus 3 equals to y. Now over here, x is 21. 21 minus 3 equals to 18. 28 minus 3 equals to 25. So now we move on to another problem-solving investigation. Of course, guys, if you want to take a break at any point in the video, you can go on ahead. There are many ways to solve most math problems. You will decide on which strategy works best for you when you read the problems. Here is a list of problem-solving strategies. Draw a picture. This strategy can help you look at the information in a problem a different way, useful when the problem is about distance or location. This is true, but if you're drawing pictures in grade 4, you might have a lot of problems when you get to, say, higher grades such as grade 10. Because sometimes in grade 10, there's geometry. So you have to draw some problems, such as angles, and then this one travels this much at this angle, and then this one travels this much, so then you find the distance. Yeah, sometimes in older grades, it's geometry. You have to use it. But this is algebra. You do not draw pictures for algebra. I know that sometimes the school board tells you to, but that is one of the slowest ways that you could ever do it, and it's time consuming. And guess what you don't have on exams? Time! Continuing swiftly on, look for a pattern. This strategy can help you solve problems when the input changes. Looking for a pattern is actually one of the best strategies, which is why algebra is such a big focus, because algebra is all about patterning. And we also have make a table. Make a table is kind of like drawing a picture, except it's more, acceptable. Why is it more acceptable? Because drawing pictures is usually for when you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, or when you're doing geometry, or if you are just learning a concept. Making a table can be used at any time. And in case you haven't noticed, this is algebra, not geometry. Anyhow, the fourth method, my personal favorite, and one of the best methods, in my opinion, in the world, is math. You're in math class, for goodness sakes. Do math. If you're in a language arts class, though, do language arts. But you're not in language arts class. So, anyhow, use this problem to learn more about choosing a strategy. When Charles was 5 years old, he earned an allowance of $2.15. When he was 6 years old, he earned $2.90. When he was 7 years old, he earned $3.65. Now Charles is 8 years old. If the pattern continues, how much allowance does he earn? So what do we know? We know how much allowance Charles earns at each age. What do we need to find? We need to find the pattern in order to solve the problem, and we need to find how much allowance he's going to get this year. So our strategy right now, we can make a table and we can just math. So the table would be H and M for money. 6, 2.90, 7, 3.65, 8, question mark. Here's the thing. When all of the values for the independent variable, which is, well, x, basically the input. When all of the values of the input are consecutive, which means in order, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, stuff like that, then you could just find the relation between the output. Now we know that 2.90 minus 2.15 is 75. Well, 0.75. 0.75. And 2.90 plus 0.75 is equal to 3.65. So it seems that the pattern is that every year his allowance grows by 75 cents. Now what's 3.65 plus, well, 0.75? That is $4.40. And that is our answer. Check. We look back at the question. Charles, 5 years old, is $2.15. 6 years old, $2.90. 7 years old, $3.65. 8 years old, the pattern continues. How much allowance does he earn? We answered the question. We got our facts straight. We are going to check over our calculations. Bzzz. Yeah, they're correct. Therefore, our answer should be correct. Now, we're going to use any strategy we want to solve this. But we have to tell which strategy that we used. Each farmer bought 4 animals to the fair. If the fair has space in one barn for 56 animals, how many farmers can bring animals to that barn? Well, math! 56 divided by 4 is equal to 14. Therefore, 14 farmers. The strategy that we use is math. I shall always put this in capital letters because it is just so awesome. Mackenzie is buying breakfast at school. Pancakes are $5.75. Milk is $1. And eggs are $3.15. Mackenzie orders all 3 items. If she pays with a $10 bill, how much change will she get back? Okay. Again, math. Pancakes plus milk plus eggs is equal to full breakfast. Okay, not that. Is equal to the total cost. Assuming that the school doesn't add taxes or the taxes are already added, it is the total cost. And then you reverb and you get $9.90. If she pays with a $10 bill, then she will end up getting back 10 cents. 10 cents. She will get back 10 cents. We move on to the next section. Balanced equations. Equations are balanced when both sides are equal. By both sides, they mean both sides of the equal sign. They are not balanced when the two sides are not equal, such as 4 times 8 is equal to 18 plus 14. 4 times 8 is equal to 32. 18 plus 14 is also equal to 32. Therefore, this equation is balanced. Sometimes you have to make an equation balanced, such as 14 plus something equals to 68. 68 minus 14 is equal to 54. Therefore, 14 plus 54 equals to 68. Complete each equation to make a balanced equation. 5 pennies plus 4 dimes equals 1 quarter plus what? 5 pennies is 5 cents, 4 dimes is 40 cents, that's 45 cents. Now, 1 quarter is, well, 25 cents. 45 cents minus 25 cents is the value of this unknown thing. And that's 20 cents. 20 cents can be 2 dimes. You could also put 20 pennies or 4 nickels. 2 dimes plus 14 quarters is equal to 7 dimes plus what? Well, 2 dimes is 20 cents and 14 quarters is $3.50, which is 350 cents. That's 370 cents. 370 cents is, well, equal to 7 dimes and what? 7 dimes is 70 cents, which means that this mystery value is equal to 370 cents minus 70 cents, which is 300 cents, which is also equal to $3. You could also put equivalent values such as 300 cents, 60 nickels, 30 dimes, 12 quarters. You get the idea. Yeah, 12 quarters was actually the last one. 14 nickels minus something equals to 4 nickels plus 2 quarters. 4 nickels plus 2 quarters is equal to 70 cents. 14 nickels is also 70 cents, which means 14 nickels minus 0. It's already balanced. 7 dimes minus 7 pennies minus 7 nickels equals to 5 dimes minus 2 nickels minus what? So 7 dimes, 70 cents, minus 7 pennies minus 7 nickels equals to 28. And 5 dimes minus 2 nickels is equal to 40. So we have to have 40 minus something equals to 28, and that's 40 minus 12. So 12 pennies. Yay! For the last exercise of this chapter, don't slack off yet, guys. Tell whether each pair of expressions will form a balanced equation. We have 8 plus 12 and 14 plus 6. 8 plus 12 equals to 20. 14 plus 6 also equals to 20. Therefore, they will form a balanced equation. 7 plus 11 is equal to 18. 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. It is pretty obvious that this will not form a balanced equation. 16 minus 10 is equal to 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is also equal to 6. Therefore, it will form a balanced equation. That's it for this chapter, guys. I guess I'll see you next chapter.